Hello, everybody. Welcome to another daily dose of gaming news and all that good stuff. And as always, I also publish on Rumble and on Patreon for X support, any kind of updates and the such. I usually go about on Twitter X. Later today, I will be doing a new gaming series, which is going to be Firewatch. It's, I think, around a handful of episodes and I'm going to publish at least for now Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays until he wraps up there. But yeah, I will give updates regarding gameplay series as we go along. And with that said, afterwards I will be putting the Callisto Protocol on the 4K completed gameplay series. If you're curious about that, you can check that out. But yeah, other than that, yeah, I'm still reeling. I cannot sit for too much long. It's a little bit uncomfortable with my shoulder ache. But yeah, I want to try out Monster Hunter Wilds beta. I see if I can manage to squeeze a couple of hours today. I'm not sure. I think it's the last day. See how it goes. But yeah, it's been a hell of a week for me, at least for game recording sessions. But yeah, I will try my best here. Yeah, other than that, let's go to the news. Not much happening. Today is Monday, very slow day, at least, especially at the time of the recording. It's not even morning in the USA side of things, so not much happening. But we got some another leaked or listings from the 9070 XT. These are from XFX. I always have trouble saying this brand here. And it's the same brand that my GPU, mine is the 7900 XTX, which I'm pretty satisfied here. And I'm not almost for sure, unless it surpasses any kind of performance, but the VRAM, it's useful for me for what I do. But yeah, I will not buy this RDNA 4 unless they come up with out of nowhere an Halo product, and I might try to consider that. But yeah, some listings regarding MSRPs, not MSRPs per se, because we don't have that confirmation, but some listings. It goes in line with, I think these listings that we've been seeing lately, they're kind of all the same. This also are AIB cards, so they probably will not get at MSRP maybe one model for each brand, for each GPU, if that much. But huh, how can I put it? It doesn't seem that good, the pricing, mainly because I think these are still the prices that we that I think AMD was about to launch when supposedly they were doing the CES 2025 announcement of the lineups there. I will assume kind of the lowest price that we've been seeing were the prices that they probably wanted to launch, which is the for the 9070 XT around $750. Same thing basically as the 5070 Ti. And even if they perform again, AMD usually needs to bring down in terms of price, even if they manage to compete in terms of performance at the same level, around 20, 25. I think they will try to be more aggressive, hopefully, than the around 20% that we saw from the previous generation in terms of competing in terms of pricing, even though in terms of at least rasterized performance usually are around about the same or a little bit better in some cases. But yeah, the non-XT variant being here 650 in this case from the Swift variant. I'm not sure if it is the better one or not. I will assume it's the baseline kind of GPU that they have. I know the Mercury, usually it's the Merc series, are the top end from XFX. It's the same one that I have. It's Merc 310 or something like that it's called. And in this generation, they are bringing also the magnetic fans, so you can replace it with just unplug and plug a new fan in case something happens. And that's why we are seeing $850 there. But I'm not sure about these prices yet. Again, we need official confirmation, at least MSRP, so we can calculate kind of how they are going about in terms of pricing on the other models. Uh, Again, my hope is performing around the same, assuming that they are going to perform, in this case, the 9070 XT will perform around 5070 Ti, hopefully, at least the same on raster, a little bit less than on ray tracing, but it's going to be an uplift in terms of generation to generation. Um, Providing that FSR 4 is basically almost at the same quality that DLSS, in terms at least an upscaling quality side of things, given that they have the same VRAM and all that jazz, given that the 5070 Ti, sorry, is around 750 for starters, which is not, we are not going to see this on launch of the Ti card there. There's already been a lot of listings of $1,000, and the average price of the listings goes about $900. Again, AMD can try to I don't know, cash in a little bit by putting an MSRP lower, but basically all the prices coming a little bit higher, and take advantage of the fact that all the 5070 Ti's are that high in terms of pricing, and they can manage to squeeze around 750 on the AIB cards. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see. Not that much time left, around 10 days or so, until we have the official event with the official lineups and the official MSRPs and the specs and all that jazz. And hopefully, then after that event, at least the AIB partners of these GPUs of RDNA 4 can at least start launching their own official prices for their own models. Because again, this is listings, again, can be placeholders in terms of price, or at least what was arranged at the beginning before the cancellation of the event in CES. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see. But again, these prices, as they are, if they are official, not good prices. Again, they need to be way more aggressive than this. That's for sure. But yeah, in terms of hardware, this is what I got at this moment in time that caught my interest. Then, in terms of games, we got supposedly System Shock 2 is going to have an enhanced edition. Um, it's a remaster, which usually it's not in line with the last remake that we saw from System Shock. They had a remake. Remaster basically is just upgrading the visuals and the stuff usually, and probably had some more stuff in terms of quality of life elements on the game itself. But suppose he's going to call now System Shock to 25th anniversary remaster. Um, Again, funny enough, I never played System Shock. The remaster of the first one seems very interesting. Seems very in line on keeping in line with the original game. It's just mainly a little bit of quality of life improvements, but they remade the game. I think Unreal Engine. I'm not sure, but it seems pretty good. Performs very well. If not mistaken, it's got at least very positive reviews in terms of feedback. But yeah, this one, System Shock 2, seems to be just a simple remaster. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see how this goes. But yeah, it's always good to see that, again, System Shock is one of those that inspired bioshock and other first-person RPGs, in terms of, at least on the narrative perspective, and trying to build something there. Again, System Shock is kind of the OG out of this. Then you got from Ubisoft. There again, the doubling down of the games as a service. Again, Rainbow Six Siege is, I think it's a squad v squad, something like that. I think it's kind of a hunters versus defenders kind of a thing there. Never played the game. Funny enough, the game itself is already a little bit on the older side since 2015, but they had a lot of content. It's I think the most profitable, probably at least the most played for Ubisoft. But they are not now coming with Rainbow Six Siege X. There is a teaser trailer. Again, I'm not going too much about it, but it's the fact that they are. I will assume, given that it's been around 10 years since this game came out, I think the revamping I will assume they will try to get more money out of it. Basically, saying this is kind of new experience, an upgraded experience, and because of that, certain things cannot be transferred for Rainbow Six Siege to this X version here. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, this tactical shooter stuff here, it's not usually for me. But yeah, goes in line with. I will assume they desperately trying to, I don't know, uh, come up with new revenue for the, at least with the Tom Clancy IP stuff there. They got supposedly new operator, whatever this is. Again, I think. Again, I'm not very in depth with the Rainbow Six Siege lore, so yeah, this comes to show that again, like if Mr. Yves Guillemot as mentioned, they're going to quadruple down now, I think, on games as a service and Assassin's Creed like kind of a games there. Again, it's not going too well for Ubisoft, but yeah, we'll have to wait and see how this will end up here. And then finally, Alan Wake 2 becomes profitable, and to become profitable, supposedly, again, we have to trust what they are saying there. Sold 2 million copies, and now it's profitable after this, which is good. It's good in the sense that because the here on the article they mentioned the tremendous budget. Again, it's tremendous considering the budgets that Remedy had on previous game. Before Alan Wake 2, Control was the most expensive game that they made. I think it was around 50 million euros, the first Control. The game is very good. I like pretty much Control. Already play it. I really did enjoy the game, especially the narrative part of things. And they did some very interesting and enjoyable things with Alan Wake, how it connects between those two IPs. So basically, we got the connected universe here. Alan Wake 2, again, it's on Epic Game Store. I will not buy on Epic Game Store. They insist that it's going to continue exclusive, and that it did in fact contributed to they only selling so far 2 million copies. I think if it went on Steam, because again, I think the game itself, in terms of gameplay mechanics and the story, with the exception of certain elements, seem pretty good. There is some enhancements in terms of the universe of how it connects itself with the AWE, so altered world events and the such, and how it connects to Control. I think Control 2 will also will be enhancing the experience of Alan Wake 2 and Control, the first one. But yeah, it took, I think, 2 years to sell 2 million copies, and I think that if they did launch on Steam, um, I don't know, maybe 5 million copies already been sold by that, and would be more profitable before than already is, which is again, it is what it is. Remedy does manage to, even with high graphic qualities that the game is, it's a little bit heavy on the PC requirements, but it seems very high graphic fidelity in terms of how it presents itself. But yeah, they managed to put their own budgets below, at least so far, $100 million. 70 million euros, I think it's around 80-ish million dollars or something like that. Again, tremendous budget is the other AAA companies that when you start seeing on average 200 million dollars plus. For example, Spider-Man 2, I think The Last of Us 2, part 2 also was that. Concord was even huge. I think for almost for half $1 billion, taking into account the studio acquisition and the fact it was 8 years in development. Then we got also, for example, Skull and Bones from Ubisoft. The math goes about almost $800 million. Again, those are tremendous budgets, and that one of the faults that that's how Ubisoft and other studios are always in a squeeze, because again, when you reach this kind of budget, you have to sell more than five, not more than five. You need to sell Black Myth Wukong numbers in the same time frame that Black Myth sold, which is they already sold at least 25 million copies or 30 million copies in less than a year. Um, if you can manage to get a game with those kind of numbers, you can play around with budgets of around 250 to 500 million dollars comfortably, I think. But yeah, um, that's why Assassin's Creed Shadows, given the delays, to I think 20 million euros per delay. So it's going to launch after the second delay at least. Again, just by that, it's basically the delays that cost Assassin's Creed Shadows is almost basically the budget of Alan Wake 2. So to have an idea here, but yeah, hopefully they can recoup and can turn around a little bit on the consulting that they did with SPI, Sweet Baby Inc. on Alan Wake 2. Hopefully they can cut ties with that, all that bullshit, because there's no need for consultancy. We got Alan Wake 1 was excellent, Control was very good. Even Max Payne games, Remedy always had a very good narrative-driven games. I don't think there is any kind of need of consultancy. Again, it's the money grift of trying to, again, the CEOs get a little bit extra on the bonuses because they can, with the checklist in terms of those consultancy firms, to decrease in terms of what they pay, have to pay from the money that they borrow for their own projects. But yeah, hopefully they can get around and improve on upcoming games. But yeah, with that said, it's basically the news that got my attention. Again, very slow Monday. Everybody's waiting for the GPU stuff there and upcoming games, especially Monster Hunter Wilds. But yeah, until then, if February usually is a slow month in a lot of stuff. But yeah, I'm going to wrap up here with some gaming deals. We still have Pacific Drive, 40% off. We got also Bioshock, the collection, the trilogy. So the first two with the remastered versions, plus Bioshock Infinite, m- plus all the DLC associated, 80% off. We got still Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy, 85% off. Midnight Suns, I do recommend this game. I made a gaming series out of it. I did manage to claim it for free on Epic Game Store a lot of months ago, and yeah, I do recommend, especially at this price point. It's a no-brainer in terms of if you want to buy or not. I think it's a very excellent game. We got also 50% on Jusant. At this moment, recording here and there some episodes of Jusant. It's pretty enjoyable. It's kind of, as you can see, a little bit climbing game. There is no dialogue. It's a little bit more on the exploration side of things and how the narrative goes in terms of notes that you find and all that jazz. But yeah, it's pretty interesting, and I'm enjoying pretty much this game. We got also Deus Ex Human Revolution Director's Cut. Again, 85% off. Again, a no-brainer. And also the sequel. I usually recommend Digital Deluxe Edition. It got all the DLC here, and it's pretty cheap. It goes around $8 or so, if not mistaken, with everything, and it's a pretty good sequel. And lastly, we got XCOM Ultimate Collection still on sale. Again, this is all XCOM related stuff, the most recent. So the Enemy Unknown plus the Enemy Within, XCOM 2 plus the War of Chosen, all the other packs there, and then also Chimera Squad. It's kind of a spiritual sequel of XCOM 2. It's got a little bit twists on the gameplay side of things, but seems pretty interesting. I still didn't manage to play. I will eventually do a run of this game, see how it goes. I need to install it first. But yeah, I'm curious about playing this game here. Uh, yep. Other than that, this is what I got for you today. I'm just going to wrap up here with a plug on my Patreon for Access Port. Again, the Access Port is more in line for me to get around and try to find a better storage solution, so I can have backups of stuff that I do for my clients, and of course some extra space for the videos that I do for the channel. And with all that said, I hope you have a wonderful day. I'll see you in the next one. So until then, Kunami Master out.